What's up, everyone? This is Silver Slayer, and welcome to your daily silver stacking video. Thank you for tuning in and doing your part in the silver stacking community, right? A lot of silver stacking channels try to push, the narrative, but you watching these videos, liking, subscribing, sharing is just as important. So thank you. Please like the video. Please subscribe. I'm really trying to step my content up. I also started the Silver Stacking podcast. First ever podcast for silver stackers. Links in the description. We post a podcast every Friday, so it's a lot of fun. Now, I do want to start some of my videos out with like a coin of the day, and today I chose a 2012. See if this can focus. Well, regardless, it's a 2012 scallop. It's the year of the dragon, obviously, which was the year 2012, and it's a PF70 Ultra Cameo. But you can see it's like it's a scallop shape. It's not a full circle. I think it's a really neat coin, and you probably have never seen this coin since it's pretty rare. I never buy PF or MS70 coins that are newer, and especially just a normal bullion coin that has nothing special going for it. So I thought that would be a cool little thing to start in some of my videos, show some of my favorite coins, and you can let me know what you think about the coin. I do want to talk about when silver will explode. That's the $1,000,000 question, right? That's what we all wonder. When? I mean, we all could stack for as long as we want, but knowing or trying to understand when is the most important part, because if you're always thinking silver is going to explode tomorrow, that's going to highly affect the way you stack. And I can guarantee a lot of you are thinking it's going to happen much sooner than it really is. Now, a lot of that can be from the influential aspect of silver stackers or channels that are kind of overhyping it up, right? And also just a lot of beginners who don't understand the markets, right? Let's leave it plain and simple. When I started, I thought silver was always going to explode like next month, and that also meant I was buying way too much silver than I should have been. Just because you can buy something doesn't mean you can afford to buy it, right? You might be able to buy $5,000 worth of silver right now, but you can't afford to buy $5,000 worth of silver. Spending 75% of your paychecks and then not having money saved up for medical bills, or if your car breaks down, or if you get fired and you need money for 3-4 months to cover until you find a new job. That's important. Actually, I recommend before you even invest into silver, learn how to manage your money properly. And yes, silver is an easier way because at least, if when you have money in your savings and you see something online or even, at the store, you can instantly transfer it. To sell silver, you have to take it to the local coin shop or on eBay. And by that time, you've probably talked yourself out of it. So it is a lot easier to save silver than it is money. But trust me, I've sold some silver before, especially I've been stacking for like 7 years. So of course, when I was much younger, washing dishes, spending way too much, money on silver than I really could afford. It just happens. You just learn from those things. And that's another point I wanna bring up before we jump into the when is you're gonna make mistakes, right? You're gonna make mistakes throughout your silver stacking journey. Don't beat yourself up. Just try to learn from them. I've made some bad mistakes, but I'm almost glad that I made them because I learned so much from that. And you can apply that to life in general, right? I don't really believe in like uh, bad situation, or I don't really believe in like negative consequences or anything. There's always opportunity to grow from that, and just a learning lesson, right? But at the end of the day, you're going to make mistakes. Hopefully you watch some of my videos or other silver stacking channels that teach you a lot of things to be careful with. Because if I would have watched a channel like mine when I first started stacking, I would have save myself a lot of money from all the little tips I can give in the beginning so you don't make the same mistake that I did. Now, let's go into the when. I see a lot of forecast videos, right? I'll see 2022 forecast. I just made a video on that. You'll see even 5, 10 years. I just also made a video talking about $500 silver earlier today. In times of economic uncertainty, people go to precious metals, right? It's a safe haven, but it's a safe haven. It's a place it's a place to store your wealth as the dollar's losing purchasing power. It's not a get rich quick scheme. If you want that, go to crypto. But in terms of a safe haven or a hedge against inflation, people are looking at it and investing more from dollar terms. There's a whole other side to silver's potential besides just the dollar, collapsing, and that's the supply shortage, supply and demand. Now, in my opinion, silver is going to explode because I don't want to just beat around the bush and not actually say a time frame, because that's what most articles or videos do. They'll never answer the actual question. I'm going to tell you the exact year and why. 2024 to 2025. In 3-4 years is when I personally think silver is really going to start to shine. And I'm talking triple digits. Now, if you're just coming from a charts or a numbers perspective, that would not make sense, but I'm also and mainly incorporating the silver shortage. Now, let me explain. Every automobile company by the year 2030 is going electric, right? We're trying to do like zero net emissions by the year 2040. The Green New Deal is going to be in full effect by then, or far along the way, and far enough to where by that time the amount of silver we'll have will be blatantly obvious. That there's a major shortage. It's already starting this year. The U.S. Mint produced 5 million ounces, or not produced, they sold 5 million ounces in the first month of January. The first month. Let me throw some context in there. The U.S. Mint nowadays produces around 13 million ounces per year, and they had a very hard time producing those 13 million ounces. They actually ran out of silver. The U.S. Mint ran out of silver last year, and they had to put out an article saying that there is a silver shortage. And actually, Perth Mint, Australian Mint, the Royal Mint, all these mints came out and said, hey, we're also having a very hard time. The Royal Mint's now scrapping silver out of cell phones and laptops. So, if they couldn't even produce 13 million ounces and they just sold 5 million in 1 month, that shows you how severe the silver shortage is going to be this year. I saw a lot of price forecasts for the year 2022, all of them like $24, $25. And I read the article for their reasoning. None of them brought up the silver shortage. Low supply, high demand shoots the price up, especially for something that's tangible like silver. Supply and demand is the most influential aspect for price movement. So to not incorporate supply and demand for something tangible is silly, and that's also going to throw your forecast or your prediction way off, especially with how dramatic and drastic the silver shortage really is. A lot of people underestimate it. And I think they underestimate it because, one, they don't do enough research, or two, they're not thinking about the future. You have to have forwards thinking. When you're investing into the idea, the thought of where it's going. Just like real estate. If you're going to invest into a house, you don't look at where the house is now. You look at where the house will be when it's time to sell. Before I ever buy a silver coin, I think about how I can sell it. In real estate, you would look at the surroundings. Are they building shopping centers or tearing them down? Are they rebuilding the houses around in the community, or is the community getting worse? Are they building schools? All of that, because then you'll be able to see in 10 years, 20 years, if the property value is going to rise or decline. Same with silver. Let's look at silver for the next 10 years. Well, solar panels, electric vehicles, silver lithium ion batteries, 5G towers, everything else as we advance in this new digital era that requires silver, but there's already a shortage. See, if you can't look at that part and only apply the numbers or the dollar, then yes, $500 silver would be silly to say, but they're not. There's a whole other reason why my name is Silver Slayer and not Gold Slayer. So, in my opinion, by the year 2025, that's when we'll have ran out of enough silver to where people realize and understand how critical it is. Silver is literally the most important thing on the planet. It really is. If we run out of silver and we can't make enough solar panels and we can't make enough electric vehicles, we're talking about global warming. We're talking about, the entire world's health, right? We're trying to save the planet by making these solar panels and going green. But if we can't go green because we don't have enough silver to make the solar panels and electric vehicles, then silver's literally the reason the earth will die. If that's not, and to say that and then realize that an ounce is only $24 really goes to show how undervalued silver is. Silver is more valuable than gold. It really is. Gold is used for necklaces, jewelry, earrings, watches. It's not, I mean, yes, there's gold in laptops and cell phones. I used to scrap gold out of cell phones myself just for fun. You don't really make much money, um, but it's mainly used as a commodity. I mean, it's mainly used as money and not so much the industrial sector as silver is. Plus, that also means that most silver is thrown away when most gold is recycled. Since gold is used for jewelry like necklaces and so on and so forth, it gets scrapped and recycled and turned into more necklaces or earrings. Silver, on the other hand, when it goes in that laptop, it's never going to be scrapped out of it. It's not profitable to scrap silver out of laptops or cell phones. It would take hours, and you're going to make what, 3-4 cents off of that, milligram of worth of silver. I mean, it's not worth it. So most silver's thrown away. So if the gold to silver ratio coming out of the ground is 9-1, that ounce of gold that gets dug up is going to stay in circulation for, probably a century. The ounce of silver that gets dug up is going to be thrown away within 10, 15, 20 years. So yes, the gold to silver ratio is 9-1, but it's actually much smaller when you think about that aspect. So we're already talking about a silver shortage, and all the silver that gets dug up is going to be getting thrown away. So this means a couple different things. Let's talk about that. One, we need to start recycling silver. What the Royal Mint's doing, I think, is a glimpse into a bigger picture of what's really going to happen, and I think recycling silver is going to be more prominent. Two, it really goes to show where premiums are going to be headed. The U.S. Mint, as soon as they announced that there's a silver shortage and they had to put the limited mintage cap on the 2021 Eagles, that's when premiums went through the roof. American Eagles used to be worth $2 over spot. Now, I just covered a video from my co-host's channel where he went into his local coin shop, and the local coin shop owner said American Eagles are the highest premium coin you can buy and sell, when it used to be the exact opposite. American Eagles used to be the cheapest over spot. Now they're the most expensive over spot because there's a shortage on American Eagles. So American Eagles are now considered high premium silver, and I wouldn't recommend that to an investor. The markets are changing. What's affecting the price and influencing the price is changing. Back in the day, speculation didn't, but now it does. And if we're looking at by the year 2025, when I'm thinking silver is going to explode, the speculative aspect of silver will be extremely high as well. By then, who knows where the dollar will be at? But the silver shortage alone, then combine that with, some economic uncertainty and in the politics of things, is just going to show how big of a deal silver is going to be. It could be past 2025, but I can definitely tell you within the next decade, by the year 2030, silver is going to be a lot more expensive. A lot of people say, looking at the global situation, silver should have already exploded. Well, yes, there is price manipulation going on, spoofing, placing false buy orders on these exchanges, canceling the order before it goes through is going to affect the price. But also, as my co-host said, he actually, I never thought about this, but he said, because he is, the numbers guy, the charts guy. So I asked him, what do you think, or I didn't ask, what do you think? I said, do you think silver price manipulation has a big effect on the price? Do you think spoofing really affects the price of silver, and to what degree? And he said it does, but to smaller extents, in shorter periods. When you look at the grand scheme of things, right? Inflation, the dollar index, supply and demand. Those things are gonna be the long lasting things that really affect the price of silver. But yes, spoofing can and does affect the price, just in shorter intervals, which does make sense. So there's going to be a time and a place where where price manipulation simply won't outweigh the dollar index, or supply and demand. And that day is coming soon. There is a day when silver will detach itself from gold. There is a day where I feel like stock market volatility, even the dollar index, won't affect silver's price like it does today, because silver will be taking off solely where no other asset or even gold will have a play in. You know, gold isn't used in those electronics. So when 5G towers and all these solar panels are getting built, only silver is going to be needed for all that stuff. Gold won't. Gold is only a monetary metal. Silver is a monetary metal and an industrial metal. I call it the best of both worlds. Whether the economy is going in bad or good shape, silver benefits. Gold only benefits when the economy's in bad shape. So yeah, you heard it here. In my opinion, silver is going to explode in 2025. I'll say 2025. 2024, I feel like, is going to really start leading up. So that's my forecast. I'm curious what you think and your reasoning. So if you could please comment down below, I'd love to hear it. Also, make sure you like the video, and subscribe. Subscribing is very important. I post daily videos. I'm going to try to aim for 2 videos a day, maybe even 3 on the weekends. And we also have the Silver Stacking podcast getting aired every Friday. And on top of that, we also post daily videos or segments of the podcast throughout the week. So I'm making the most silver content I ever have on YouTube, and I really hope you enjoy it and hop on board, because we're going to be pushing. We're taking this a step further. We're going to be bringing on special guests, doing live streams, giveaways. There's currently a giveaway. The first 1,000 subscribers on the Silver Stacking podcast will be entered in a silver giveaway, but there's only about 200 slots left. So make sure you go over there and subscribe. The link's in the description. See, I'm going to wrap this video up here. This was Silver Slayer. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.